have a quote for you today. Now, if whether you are religious or not, I think you should stay and listen and learn from what I have to say, because I'm not religious either. I did grow up in a Christian household, and I think even though I'm not religious, I think there's a nobility in learning from these wise men like Paul, for example, from the Corinthians, who took time out of their day to express what they've learned in their life to, I guess, so almost give you a guideline to live by, regardless of if you're religious or not. So, I have a quote for you from Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 5. Listen up. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. And it keeps no record of wrongs. For those of you who have no idea what that means, basically, love is patient, love is kind, of course. Love is not egotistical or proud of itself for loving. It doesn't make others feel less than. It doesn't give expecting to receive. It doesn't anger. And even through hardship, it stays true. Many of us have experienced this kind of love from our parents, have experienced this kind of love from our family members or even friends. And this should be the very basic expectation of what love looks like. When somebody says they love you, this is what your expectation of what that looks like. Of course, there's a lot of people that, use the word love so freely, and it means almost nothing in today's day and age. So I want you to really think of the meaning of love. And when you think of that, I want this to come up. I want you to think of Paul's Corinthians 13 verses 4 through 5, because it means something, because it's powerful. Now, the point of this video isn't necessarily to teach you anything. It's more to give you hope. It's more to give you a lifeline to hang on to, really, while you go through your life, because this is what everybody deserves. Everybody deserves love like this. Maybe there's somebody in your life that you know is going through hardship. It would be very selfless of you to show them this kind of love. Maybe you're going through hardship and you may not know or have experienced this kind of love, this kind of appreciation. And it's because love is a choice. I had this really interesting conversation with my dad the other day. We were talking about relationships and how he had many relationships growing up before he settled with my mother. Which is an interesting thing to tell me, but I think I learned something from it. And he was telling me that love is one of the most beautiful experiences, and yet one of the most disgusting and painful, because it makes you writhe, it makes you stay up at night, it grips your heart and doesn't let go, it clouds your mind and judgment. And it's also for those same reasons that it's beautiful, because this person or this idea is gripping your heart. It's making you feel things like nothing else ever has. So he told me that it's not a choice. However, he told me that you can't control it. He told me that it's something that really is out of your hands, and I disagree with that, because what he was describing when he explained that to me was a crush, liking somebody, not love, but a crush. Now, yes, a crush and liking somebody can very easily lead to love. However, it does not necessarily mean that it is. Let me give you a distinction so that you can properly know what to expect and properly have the idea in your mind. A crush or liking somebody, regardless if they're a friend or a foe, by the way, enemies to lovers, one of the best tropes ever. Pure cinema. However, needless to say, when you like somebody, you only see the positives. You may think they're funny, they're kind-hearted, they're smart, intelligent, hardworking, handsome, beautiful. All these beautiful, positive things that keep you up at night and make your heart flutter. However, love, true love for somebody else, comes when you start seeing the negative things. The laziness, the lack of cleanliness, the trauma response, the avoidance, the the continuous need for reassurance, right? And you know, I just gave you a bunch of different things that aren't necessarily connected to each other. Somebody could just have a couple of them, somebody could have all of them, somebody could have none of them, and have others that I didn't mention. However, true love comes from accepting these nuisances, really, these uncomfortable parts of a person's personality, accepting them, and continuing, understanding, continuing to give them this unconditional love that Paul explained to us earlier. Like I said earlier, this video isn't necessarily to convince you to not break up with your toxic boyfriend or girlfriend. This video isn't me explaining to you that you should continue to be friends with this dickhead that keeps on hurting you. I'm not saying that you should, you know, give your parents a second chance even though they abused you, right? It's not what I'm saying at all. That's a completely different video, honestly, about self-respect, and I'll make that later. But for now, let's just focus on love. Love is a chance that you take. Love is an opportunity that you find, really. And once you find it, you should not ever let go. So I want you to think about this video as hope. Hope in the form of a 19-year-old in a bathrobe and earrings, telling you that love is still out there, and you should continue to look for it. And when you find it, hold on to it and don't let go, and learn from it, and learn from your experiences. I hope that even though you may not be religious, you actually learn something from this video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you. Can I just say that this is my third time recording this video, and the fucking second time I put the mic away from me just to like move around the table, and you couldn't hear me, so I'm very unhappy. However, let it be known that I cared enough to record it again and then edit it afterwards.